Hello, welcome to Stone Creek Turnings, and I'm Eric Bultman. As you can tell this week, I'm kind of phoning it in because I'm thousands of miles away from my lathe, so I'm bringing it at an undisclosed outside location. For today's video, I thought I'd go over the top 5 questions that I'm asked about wood turning, as compiled by me. So, for number 1, the first question is, why did you get into wood turning? Well, my main reason is I needed a creative outlet, and I thought wood turning would be a inexpensive hobby to get into. My first lathe cost about $80. My first set of tools cost $20. I figured if I could get wood for free, so it was a really easy hobby to get into, and that definitely led into a much longer obsession with wood that's carried on for years and years. Question number 2, what do you like making the most? Well, I definitely like making bowls. I just love the shape, that they're very utilitarian, that you can use it, easy to admire. But I also like making custom orders. It's a lot more fun working on something where you know who is going to, whether that's a candlestick or a box or pretty much anything that I've made that was custom. It's just fun knowing who it's going to and just being able to imagine the look on their face when they actually get it. So, bowls, and then in custom orders. All right, question number 3, where do you find your wood? Well, originally I found that kind of walking through the forest looking for any trees that had been fallen down, whether it's my backyard or any forest I could find. Now what I mainly do is I found where a local tree service dumps their wood that they've cut up, so they've done all the heavy lifting, they've done all the heavy cutting, and I already know what the wood looks like before I even start. So that's a huge bonus. I'm able to kind of see if the grain is interesting before I go through all the work of hauling it home and cutting it into manageable chunks. So that's a huge time saver. Question 4, what wood do you like the most? I started with black walnut. That's still my favorite. Because the dark wood hides a lot of the sanding defects, especially when I was first starting. It doesn't shrink and crack a lot, so it doesn't warp as much. It's really easy to work with. It's not too hard and not too soft, so it sands really well. And then a customer favorite, and that I really enjoy working with, is box elder. That's it's a lighter colored wood with a lot of red streaks that go through it. The more red, the more interesting it becomes. So that's been extremely popular as far as selling, and is also a lot of fun to work with. The 5th and final question is, how do I get started in wood turning? Well, once you have your lathe and you have your tools, the best thing I can suggest, how I learned, is practice, practice, practice. But then also, there's a ton of videos on YouTube for just how to getting started. The tips and techniques are huge. Knowing the angles that you need to use, what kind of tools are best for what application is a huge thing. I probably went like a year or so at least without actually presenting the tool to the wood correctly. And once I actually learned how to do it correctly, more of a scraping as opposed to just sticking it into the wood. I had a lot fewer catches, so it was a lot safer, had a lot better finish, and everything went a lot faster. If you do have any clubs near you, or if you know anybody that does do wood turning, that would be the fastest and probably the best way of learning, is just having somebody else walk you through it. That way they're able to stop you from doing anything dangerous before you do it, and just simple things that's easy to overlook when you're first starting, but it goes a long ways towards making a better product. And then just kind of figuring out what design you like, and if you want really thick stocky wood, if you want really thin edge, if you like the natural edge with the bark on it, just kind of playing around with what styles you like the best really goes a long ways to getting started and actually making pieces that you can give away as gifts when you're first starting, or even to possibly selling them. So that's kind of my top 5 questions in a nutshell. See you later.